Hi, I'm Sarah Aycock, and ever since I can remember, I've loved to read. Because I love to read, I became very good at it and was reading well above my age level. Because I was reading well above my age level, I was reading books that weren't really appropriate for someone my age. I can vividly remember picking up To Kill a Mockingbird out of my library and flipping open the page and seeing the N-word. I ran up to my librarian and asked her why this book was in a library for children. She turned the spine over and showed me a label that said harsh language warning. My library, along with many other libraries, had preventative requirements that kept children from reading books that weren't appropriate for children their age. I'm a book lover, so when I heard that people were banning books because of harsh language, it was really important to me to express why I didn't agree with this. We hear harsh words every day, so why would reading words like this be any different? Literature should not be banned because of harsh language because many libraries have regulations and rules set up in order to prevent this. Language has different meanings now than it did in the past, and sometimes harsh language is needed to get the point across. So as I said before, many libraries have restrictions for age restrictions that keep children from reading books that aren't appropriate for them. Like, for example, libraries are set up to make sure that children are reading books by shelving based on age. There are also labels on books for age restrictions and harsh language warnings. And one of the things that I remember my library doing is we had a parent signature policy where if you wanted to read a book, but it wasn't really something you should have been reading, your parent could sign a form that said it was okay for you to do that. And Connections Academy has some tips for parents to make sure their children are reading the correct, appropriate content. So first you want to determine your reading level, then you want to do a background check on the book, and finally you can use the PIC mnemonic, which stands for purpose, interest, comprehension, and know. So you want to make sure your child can comprehend what they're reading, that they know what's going on, that they're interested in it, and that they have a good purpose for reading the book. So as long as parents and educators will continue regulating, we should be fine not to ban books with harsh language. As many of you might have noticed in books such as the Bible, many words from back in the past are a lot harder to understand than they were, and they may have different meanings than today. For example, the word ass in the Bible is used to refer to a donkey. However, today people use it to call people rude or stubborn. And there's even some words today that are used that aren't even harmful or harsh words that mean different things. For example, the word nice in the 13th century meant foolish, but today it means good or pleasing. Before you just assume that a word is rude or harsh, you need to read the entire page, figure out the context of the book, and research what the word meant in the time that it was wrote. Authors don't normally use words to be harsh or offensive, but to get the point across. In To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, one of the characters tells Scout, the main character, "Your father is no better than the nigger he works for." The author obviously knows this word is offensive and not something you should just blatantly throw around, but she uses it because it gets the point of racism across. Without this strong word and many other words that she uses, this book would not be one of the most powerful fictional racism books in history. Many people believe books should be banned because of their harsh language and content. However, they shouldn't be because most libraries have regulations set up to make sure children are reading appropriate books. Many words, good and bad, have different meanings now than they did in the past. And finally, it gets the point across. Banning books because of harsh language would ban almost all books and many important ones, such as Lord of the Flies by William Golding and The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "All I need is a sheet of paper and something to write with, and I can turn the world around." So before you judge harsh words in a book, make sure you understand what they're saying and put yourself in the author's shoes. make sure that you're making sure your children's books are appropriate and yours are too.